For more than 2 millennia, the inhabitants of the western Pontic cities of Tomis, present-day Constanța, Histria, and Calatis, present-day Mangalia, have been either comforted by the pleasant breeze of the old Pontus Euxinus, the Black Sea, or wiped by the cold breeze of this capricious sea. The sea has always been a part of their lives. They sailed or fished on its waves, they rejoiced, mourned, or died on its shores, and they always looked to the horizon, trying to guess the silhouettes of the ships coming towards the port. For the safe arrivals of the goods, news, or distant relatives, the inhabitants of Tomis built a lighthouse to guide the way of the ships at night or on the foggy days when goddess Hecate became the master of the world. Guided by the saving light, the ships of the Greeks, Romans, and Roman Byzantines always find the safe way to the port of the city, to the safe quays where they could throw their anchors. These massive, seemingly banal anchors are testimonies of a time of glory in which the city of the exiled poet Ovid was the too bright metropolis. Throughout the city's existence, the port has always been its heart, a heart that grew and developed gradually at a fast pace. Initially, a natural harbor operated here, which was later arranged and enlarged by various quays and dams. The oldest constructions of this kind identified so far date from the 4th century BC. The ancient port was located in the bay to the west of the promontory, in the area of the modern port of Constanța. The Roman mosaic building, a terraced building intended for commercial transactions, situated near the museum, was erected in Roman times, most probably during the reign of Constantine the Great, 272–337 AD. It was a construction that practically dominated the Tomitan port. Its last terrace consisted of the quays where ships from all over the world anchored, bringing goods and products, then sold or stored in the immediately adjacent commercial area. 1500 years ago, in the Great Hall of the Mosaic Building, hundreds of Tomitans gathered to discuss business. Today, on the multicolored mosaic field, one can find a variety of artifacts and anchors of the ancient ships that brought them to Tomis. The anchor is a manifold symbol. When discovered in the submerged sand of the port, it is a sign of success, of the journey well completed. When found at sea, far from the harbor, it is a sign of despair, of suffering, and of lives and dreams shattered by the terrible storms. The anchors present in other great city of Pontus Euxinus, Histria, bear yet other meanings. The lapidary of the Histria Museum hosts two massive pieces of stone, which are in fact 2500 years old, anchors with an extraordinary story. In recent years, the sacred zone of History Archaeological Site has offered specialists big surprises. Here were found sacrificial offerings and relics dating from the 6th century BC. A sensational discovery was that of two stone anchors, well preserved and found in situ, at the northern edge of the perimeter of sacrifices and offerings. A fragment belonging to a third anchor was found a few feet away from them. Offerings of this size have never been found before. Archaeologists assume that the three anchors were intentionally placed at the edge of the ritual area in order to be very visible. They are around 4.5 feet tall and 4 inches thick, dimensions characteristic of the archaic anchors discovered over time around the Black Sea. The presence of anchors in a site like Histria is not surprising. What is surprising is that they were used as offerings to the gods. Researchers determined that the artifacts were used before at sea, and after successful voyages, presented by the captains to deities as a thank you sign for the safe trip.